talk to the commander? Get me reinstated?
Natara's doing you a favor, Marcine. Would you have preferred a court-martial? Dishonorable discharge? Because all of that was on the table.
I would have preferred things to remain as they were, so I made a mistake. But my work on the Comspike
was and is irrelevant. Dr. Vogel will do just fine without you. Besides, we both know the only reason you were on that project was to bloat the budget so we could embezzle the creds. And to that end, your share of the funds should be transferred to your Gal Bank account shortly.
What am I supposed to even say to that? Those funds are the reason I don't have a job.
You can start by saying thank you. Hell, I even warned you not to poke the bear. Commander Natara being the Ursine predator in this analogy.
Aaron was right. I should have never hit send.
Yeah, you screwed up. Royally. But you can protect Dr. Gong and all the King's subjects by keeping your mouth shut from now on.
Yeah.
Hey, you want my advice? On some planet at the edge of the galaxy where you can relax for a bit. Lean back. Really dig your feet in the sand. Just get your mind off all of this. Oh, and stop with the sad puppy dog face, too. Makes you look guilty.
And what kind of face am I supposed to have?
The face of someone who got away with it.
think you may be trying to take a little too much on. Literally.
You'll find the prototype ship at docking bay B. Use the password to access the flight terminals in the control center.
Yes. What? Yes?
Head just doesn't feel right. 920 Marines are handpicked. To maintain ops security, most of us here won't work another assignment. So tired. Reporting for duty, pilot? Another test flight, huh? You pilots are braver than me. You're clear to pass. Don't forget to schedule the flight in the control center.
Yes? What?
I think you may be trying to take a little too much on. Literally. What?
I've heard the technology in this station would make the FC surrender before we even started to move.
It's tough not seeing any action, but securing a station like this is a pretty important duty. There's been rumors of soldiers smuggling personal items into the station. I doubt it. UC Marines are way too disciplined.
Station seems secure.
Something important or just conversation? Look after yourself. Hmm? Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
Prototype ship, you are cleared for takeoff. We'll begin the test on your departure.
Reporting test flight data. Please adhere to the scheduled flight plan and let us know if you have any issues.
What are you hailing for? Land in the key or don't.
Well, well, well. Welcome back, Rook. Looks like you got a new toy for me. Go on in and give everyone the lowdown. We'll take care of things from here.
We'll secure that ship for you.
That's a real nice ship you brought in. I can't wait to tinker with it.
Your previous ships, head on in. We'll take the ship to another port so Jazz can have a look.
Your previous ship's being brought back to the dock.
The fleet is family.
Need something?
Heading out. The right gear. Aye. Here if you need me.
just need a drink more.
Nice to know Neva was right about you. It's good to have a promising rookie with the fleet. Surprise? Neva talks tough, and frankly, she is tough. But she's not a machine. Now you're starting to sound like a real pirate. Anyway, I believe I owe you a drink. It's the last time I'm paying, of course. Because if Delgado's right about Crix's legacy, you've earned more than your fair share already with that comm spike. Yeah, although I get why you didn't give me the details. If I had known this was about the legacy, I might have asked for a bigger cut. Sounds like you're on board as a true believer. I have to admit, the way things are going, I'm starting to believe myself.
Whether Crix's legacy is real or not, we have a job to do, and we will see it through.
Anyway, I've kept you long enough. Now that you've had your drink and my debt is paid, it's time for you to give Delgado the good news.
This place even smells like deceit. We should make our business quick. How can I assist? I am happy to help shoulder the load. Some other time then.
Jasmine tells me that you not only brought us the comm spike, but an entire prototype UC ship. I'm impressed, Rook. Very impressed.
Yeah, nice try, Rook. We know you didn't have a choice. Juan gave us the full rundown of your little smash and grab operation. She gave you some really high praise. Said you were a pro.
And from what I hear, receiving praise from Juan Dayu is quite an accomplishment. All in all, a job well done. Now, on to the business at hand. Jasmine, are you there?
Yep, I'm here, boss. What's up?
How's it going?
I already have two of my crew tearing the ship apart from one end to the other. Comm spike shouldn't be too tough to extract. I'm looking forward to seeing what those UC techs have been up to.
Keep me posted. All right. That leaves our electromagnetic atmosphere problem. And I think we've discovered a solution. There's a corporation in the city of Neon called Generdyne. They're responsible for the massive conduction grid that powers the city. We get our hands on their electrical absorption tech, and Jasmine swears she can tame it to handle Bannock 4. It's the giant shroud that covers the entire city. Big, ugly thing that Generdyne uses to absorb lightning strikes. When you arrive in Neon, I'm sure your contact will fill you in with all the boring details.
You damn right she can. My girl can piece together a jump engine with her eyes shut. Literally, I've seen her do it. Lost good money on that bet.
All right, let's not get carried away, Neva. Now, why don't you give us the info on our Neon contact?
You get to meet up with the lovely Estelle Vincent. She's had her deft little fingers on the pulse of Neon for some time now. Whatever info you need, I guarantee she can get.
Estelle is one of the most reliable captains we have in the fleet. If I want something done, there's none of the typical bullshit. It gets done, and afterward, we all split the cash. No. There is no getting along here. You are going to do everything she asks. Follow her instructions to the letter. She is valuable to the fleet. You piss her off and we lose her as a contact, you're going to be answering to me.
We have dealt with more than a few of your captains. This one should be no problem.
You did right by one. But she's almost as green as you two. Estelle is different.
Estelle will be waiting at Madame Sauvage's place. I'd say don't keep her waiting, but chances are she won't mind. Girl loves her liquor.
And keep your eyes on the prize. Neon's one big distraction for people like us, so I want you focused. We are one step away from Crix's legacy, and we cannot afford any screw-ups.
Will we be stopping for food? I would not mind trying something, and there are plenty of options.
You have a nice day now.
Nice to see a fresh face around here.
You
You stop in whenever you'd like.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself. Understand? No causing trouble in here.
So, when did you stop flying the Swan, anyway?
When the cargo became more valuable than the ship.
True. The fleet's got us real busy these days, and we are making good money smuggling all this contraband. But if any time was the right time for a break...
Hey, there's still work to do. I need to check with my contacts at the spaceport and find out what guards are on rotation when we leave port. Then it's back to the key to make sure Delgado gets his cut, and to make sure he hasn't cut us out. I worry sometimes that being in New Atlantis, we're missing out on the big scores. I know that old dog has something big planned. I can feel it.
Sheesh, that is a lot to think about. And here I thought the pirate life was carefree.
Maybe for some people, but that's not how I work.
Well, you feel free to plan our next moves from now to the new year. I'm all about living in the present and being where your feet are.
That's fine. Just make sure to wipe those feet before boarding my ship.
Fortunate that Walter has used his considerable funds to maintain the lodge, are we not?
If you want to talk, make it quick. I think it's like...
How are you? What have you got for me? We will speak again. I am sure.
Acknowledged. You're clear to dock at docking port 1. The commander will be waiting for you in operations.
I got mess hall duty next week. Excuse me. We hunt piracy all across the galaxy.
I wouldn't want to be there at mast when the commander has to explain taking the comms.
Go back. Anything to report? It seems you had quite the eventful mission on your hands. You still have the Crimson Fleet's trust, and you were able to spare lives in the process. As you've probably guessed, not very well. Keeping Mast out of the loop regarding this particular mission has proven exceptionally difficult. But we've managed to keep your involvement in the dark. Sparing the lives of the soldiers on SY-920 has definitely made our position with the top brass much easier. And on behalf of the United Colonies and Commander Natara, I thank you.
Injuring or killing UC personnel would only cause more problems for us in the long run.
Excuse me, sir. I hate to interrupt, but there's still the matter of the comm spike to discuss.
Yes, of course, Lieutenant. Time is short, and we should get to the matter at hand. Please give me your report. With the acquisition of the comm spike, the fleet is one step closer to Krix's legacy. And the more people we arrest, the greater the chance that your infiltration is discovered. We're working against the clock here, so let's start by discussing the status of the comm spike. That all depends on what you brought back from your mission. Aside from your eyewitness testimony, I assume you have the usual evidence that could lead to her incarceration?
I can take it off your hands once we complete your debriefing, but at the moment, I'm far more concerned about the comm spike.
Then it's just a matter of time before she reverse engineers it to fit the fleet's purposes. So what does Delgado have you doing next? Has he solved the Bannock 4 problem? The conduction grid?
That's brilliant, but is it actually possible? It's 80-year-old tech. Sorry, sir. The conduction grid is how Neon generates its power. It essentially absorbs lightning strikes and converts it to usable energy. It would take a hell of an engineer to modify the technology to handle Bannock 4's EM field. An engineer, like Jasmine Durand.
If that's the case, inform our contacts on Neon that our operative will be touching down there in the near future.
Absolutely, sir.
And before you depart, I wanted you to know that your efforts are helping us gain interest among my superiors. They're finally beginning to believe that we can take down the Crimson Fleet and make amends for the UC's embarrassing mistake. The fact that our common enemy owes its existence to the United Colonies, of course. It was the riot at the lock, touched off by Jasper Krix, that inspired him to create the Crimson Fleet in the first place.
Thanks to your assistance, we'll be able to rectify that mistake, and Mast will authorize an all-out assault.
Of course I am, but it's a calculated risk. It's long overdue. All right, I suppose that's all for now. I'll be looking forward to your next report. Good luck. And please, be careful.
What can I do for you?
you have permission to speak freely. Our directive is simple. We are tasked with the eradication of space piracy in the settled systems. As the chief source of pirate activity, the Crimson Fleet is our primary target. Good luck.
Anything new to report? Glad to hear it. Let's see what you got. Finally. We've been tracking the Jade Swan for almost a year, but Captain Dayu somehow remained one step ahead. Every time we've scanned that ship, it's come up empty. Well, she's not going to skate away this time. Nice work. Anything else? Cost overruns, siphoning project funds? How deep does this well go? Our forensic accounting team is going to have their hands full. I'll send this to Mass right away. Let's just hope that a few rotten apples within the UC haven't spoiled the entire bunch. Find anything else? Understood. Keep searching and you're bound to find more. Yeah. I figured it was only a matter of time before this came up. The reason I didn't bring up the Crimson Fleet is, well, I was one of them. It's something I'm not exactly proud of. He knows quite a bit about my journey. But I'd appreciate it if you didn't mention this conversation to him. I know a great deal about how they operate, what frequencies they use, their encryption techniques, their methods. So, in short, yes. Common ground, but not a common beginning. I was recruited out of New Atlantis by Neva Mora. She said I was making a name for myself, and it caught the fleet's attention. I was thrilled. It was a chance at bigger and better scores and gave me a ticket off-world. Why the heck would I say no? I raised hell on New Atlantis until someone stood up and took notice. And just like Adler Kemp stuck his neck out and vouched for you, someone else in the fleet did the same thing for me. In fact, it was my idea to send you to Sidonia for your first, well, I suppose you call it a mission. Yeah, maybe I should have. But there was a problem. You see, SysDev's Lieutenant Jillian Toft would have said no. But Jilly Toft, that criminal with an axe to grind with society, she stupidly said yes. They took me in. Delgado ran me through the paces on Suvorov, and before I knew it, I was part of the team. Now I was making some serious money. That apartment I boasted about in New Atlantis became a joke. I even made enough to buy my own ship. The moral here is obvious. I think the fact that I'm wearing this UC SysDef uniform says it all. Everything changed thanks to Commander Akande. The man basically saved my life. I owe him everything. You don't even know the half of it. Look, I've already said too much. I promised Commander Akande I wouldn't talk to anyone about this. All you need to take away is that I've literally walked a mile in your shoes, and I appreciate the risks that you're taking. Carry through with this mission. I promise you I'll be there every step of the way. I'll be here if you have any more questions.
Word is you had to steal classified tech from me. station. I hope the commander knows what he's doing.
A pleasure. Certainly. He is a quiet man, reserved. I believe he had lived through a great many hardships, though he never spoke of them. I never felt it proper to ask. He valued his personal space and quiet moments. It was one thing we always shared in common. Years ago, I had heard he was alive, but did not attempt to contact him. I did not feel it was right. I hope this is not a mistake. I do not know, not for sure. I did not see them fall that day, and I suppose I have hoped they survived. I admit I have not investigated before now, at least in part because of what I feared I might learn. House Varun is in a distant corner of space, far away from the rest of the settled systems. While this serves our interests, it can also pose challenges. Many critical resources are scarce, and diplomatic relations with the United Colonies and Freestar Collective were tense at the best of times. It was the most practical way to acquire what we need, without raising too many questions. It still is. Then we should return to our task. Of course. What would you like to know? Very good.
We hunt piracy all across the galaxy.
I know Aquila City rather well. Perhaps better than I would like. He is not here. I am disappointed, but relieved somehow? You're right. I'm sorry. Someone here must know more. We should inquire about him. Yes, Aggies. I have spent far too much time here. I do not recommend it.
If you're here, I'm busy. Leave me alone. You ain't here looking for Erin. She is.
Hello, Aggie. I was unsure whether you would remember me. It has been a long time.
I ain't likely to forget you anytime soon. I don't know. You tell me. You're the one blundering in here with her in tow, asking questions. I heard you, ain't deaf. She didn't ruin Aaron's life enough the first time, huh? Back for more?
Ruined his life? How dare you?
Did she tell you what she did to him? How she left him bleeding on some godforsaken rock in the middle of nowhere? Ha! Forgive me if I don't take you at your word. Aaron sat in that corner for years, scared of his own shadow, convinced the damned zealots were coming back to finish the job. The few credits he had to rub together that didn't get spent on drink, he spent on setting himself up someplace where they couldn't find him. Wouldn't trust anyone that walked through the door. Only ever talked to me when he was drunk enough. If either of you cared, you wouldn't just be showing up now. Aaron ain't been in here for almost a year now. Showed up one day saying he'd gone and got himself set up on Hyla too, thanking me for letting him stay here so often. It was the closest I'd seen him to happy in I don't know how long. And that was it. Never came through the door again.
Did he ever mention me?
You mean, did he blame you? That's what you want to know. I know guilt when I see it. Don't try and deny it.
Fine. Did he blame me?
No. Believed you were one of the good ones, right up until the last time I talked to him. Me? I don't think your kind has good ones.
My kind?
I know what you are. You take your holier-than-thou bullshit and your great serpent and shove them.
You dare insult me like this when I have come to you asking for help. I should kill you where you stand. Fine. Fine. Let us leave this place at once.
Well, this has been so much fun. You see Aaron, you tell him I got a bottle of his favorite stashed away if he ever shows up again. But honestly, I'm hoping he doesn't.
Something on your mind?
If you got credits, spend them with Ethan. Or leave.
Locals can be especially colorful here. Want a drink? Yeah, something I got back when I was an irresponsible kid. There's a lot of things I'd probably do differently if I had a second chance. But hey, that which doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? Enjoy, Aggies.
We have something to go on, at least. I am grateful that you showed some compassion, despite that woman's attitude. I do not have your patience. Yes, I had not considered that his absence would affect others in the same way. It is better to overlook her reaction then. I'm eager to reach Hyla too, and speak to Aaron. Perhaps there is something we can do to help him. Provide him a sense of safety. May you find favor in all things.
You meet Aggie yet? Tough.
We should be on our guard here. If we could detect the camp from orbit, it means others could too. And I have no idea what fortifications he may have. When we arrive, would you let me speak to him first? I think that is important right now. Thank you. From what Aggie said, it sounds like he has been rather paranoid for years now. That, too, I fear, is my fault. Let us proceed slowly and carefully. I do not want to antagonize him. What does your scanner reveal?
Do you see anything useful?
I thought I saw something. I need to be sure. I don't know what to say. I thought there would be a chance to speak to him. To make amends. Or at least to hear him curse me for leaving him. I was prepared to accept that. I did not think I would find him like this. At least these vermin didn't get him. He's been gone for... Well, clearly it's been some time. Look around. There will be correspondence from Jada Wong. I am sure of it. This cannot all be for nothing. Best not to leave anything useful behind. You found something. Please, let me see it. I should have guessed. Jada was always the one to run towards trouble. Of course she would still be doing it now. In her own way. For anyone else, I would say the chances of survival are slim. But for Jada... she is alive and on a mission. I would bet my life on it. Jada was younger than some of the other smugglers we contracted. There was concern she would be unreliable. As time went on, we called on her more and more often, eventually relying on her almost exclusively. She was sharp, a skilled pilot and very, very determined. Always talking about her big plans for retirement, how she would live like a queen. I am not surprised that she would desire revenge. But to go this far, we need to find her. But before we go, I've discovered something else. And I do not know what to make of it. Aaron was composing a reply to Jada, but never sent it. It reads as if he was expecting the Zealots to find him. That they knew where to look for him. Clearly he had become paranoid, but that does not mean he was wrong. What bothers me, though, is that he mentions a name he should not know. Tomisar Kadik. Yes, I do. For all of my assignments in the settled systems, Tomisar has been my link to House Baroon. From him, I have received my orders, and he is the person to whom I have reported my success. He does not work with anyone outside House Baroon, and I am the only one who knows how and where to find him. Aaron should never have heard of him. Perhaps. He could have reached out directly, but that would be a surprising breach of protocol. We must first make sure that Jada is safe, and perhaps she will be able to shed light on this. Let us head for the den.
Approaching vessel. Docking approved.
Either she is here, or someone will know where we can find her.
Anything I can help you with?
Just don't cause any problems, okay? It's been a slow day.
Marquez is all right, I guess. She's gonna be lucky to have me as a boss.
I know we're not a priority for the Vanguard or the UC, but it's still space worth protecting. Huang? Really? There are at least 3 other pilots based out of here I'd expect to receive complaints about first. Before we get started, I have to inform you there's a formal review process for the Vanguard, so don't expect any action for a while, okay? Now, what is the nature of your complaint? Look, this isn't Alpha Centauri or anything. We're a bit removed from the center of the United Colonies. Folks out here are a little less receptive to the Vanguard keeping an eye on things. Oh, okay. Sorry. Force of habit, I suppose. Jada isn't here. Hasn't been here in a while. In fact, she's following up on some sensitive information. I'm not sure I should disclose any more than that. It's not something I can just blurt out. I think we can work something out. I think we can work something out. I suppose it's not the end of the world. Jada came in a bit ago, all fired up over some hot lead. She's been focused on zealots ever since she was assigned here, but this was a whole other level. She was headed out to Groombridge to track them down. Never seen her so fixated. And if you know Jada, that's saying something. If you're headed out that way, be careful. Wouldn't surprise me if she's getting into all kinds of trouble. Take care.
If you're ever in New Atlantis,
Good to see you.
a good word for me?
You won't find a better offer on the station.
It's a little surprising, isn't it? Au revoir, as they say.
Unidentified ship. You are not authorized to be